So I was back at work for the company that still owned me.
What if your entire life was owned by a company? Not just your job, not just your data, your thoughts, your body, your freedom. In Apple TV Plus's Murderbot, that terrifying scenario isn't science fiction, it's reality. The characters throw around the phrase, the company, like everyone knows what it means. But behind that simple name lies one of the most corrupt, powerful, and sinister entities in sci-fi storytelling. A corporation so massive, it controls everything from space exploration to sentient life itself. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. Today we're diving into the truth behind the company. What do they do? Where are they based? And why won't anyone, even Murderbot, dare to speak their real name? This is everything you need to know about the company in Murderbot and why it might just be the most terrifying villain you never actually see.
Company wanted to order SecUnit to kill us. We'd be dead by now.
The company isn't trying to kill you.
The basics. What does the company actually do? At the most fundamental level, the company is a monopolistic interstellar corporation that controls most aspects of planetary exploration and resource extraction. In the Murderbot universe, when someone wants to explore or stake a claim on a distant, uninhabited planet, they don't just buy a spaceship and go there. They go through the company. Need insurance for a survey expedition? Go through the company. Need a sec unit for protection? The company makes those. Need habitat modules, supplies, oxygen, data relays, medical kits, or communications infrastructure? All company products. And because they own the patents and operating systems, you're locked into using only their gear. The company offers packages to clients, usually teams of scientists or surveyors, who want to explore a world for potential mining operations. The catch? The company provides everything and controls everything, and they charge through the nose for it. This business model makes the company an exaggerated form of a vertical monopoly. They control every link in the supply chain: hardware, software, logistics, legal, insurance, and even the artificial intelligence that governs security. If you want to explore a planet, you either use the company or you don't go at all. A monopoly on exploration and exploitation. But this isn't just some greedy logistics firm. The company doesn't merely offer services. It enforces its dominance through surveillance, blackmail, deception, and even deadly negligence. As Murderbot itself reveals in the show and the books, the company frequently cuts corners to save costs. It supplies teams with outdated or malfunctioning equipment. It tampers with records. It suppresses information. And if something goes wrong, it always finds a way to spin the incident in its favor or cover it up completely. In All Systems Red, Murderbot describes how the company will even accept bribes from rival survey teams to allow secret third parties onto planets. This is no isolated incident. It's standard operating procedure. The company will compromise the safety and success of its own clients as long as it profits more in the end. And all the while, it watches everything. Every conversation is recorded. Every interaction is logged. The company mines every piece of data it receives, not just to manage logistics, but to exploit it for value. We don't know exactly how it uses this data, but the implications are chilling. Think Google, but with absolute power, no ethics board, and no government oversight.
Behind it.
That's a refurbished model. It's being phased out. Shouldn't really be in there.
Surveillance, servitude, and sec units. One of the most disturbing aspects of the company's operation is how it treats bots, especially constructs like Murderbot. Murderbot is what's called a sec unit, a security unit composed of both organic and mechanical components. And despite having human tissues and even emotions, it's considered corporate property. The company doesn't just treat it like a product, they own it. They own its thoughts, its memories, its physical body. They literally lease sec units out like you would a car or a copier. The company also manufactures the operating systems for all their bots, ensuring total compliance. If a bot like Murderbot steps out of line, the company has backdoors and override codes that allow it to shut the unit down, or worse. In fact, part of the story arc for Murderbot is that it's hacked its own governor module, freeing itself from direct control but still carrying the trauma of its past obedience. And when bots malfunction or show signs of independence, the company simply wipes them or destroys them. It's slavery, plain and simple. But in the corporation rim, the lawless frontier where the company operates, it's all perfectly legal.
Fresh meat for the corporation salespeople.
Okay, that's...
Where is the company based? Welcome to the Corporation Rim. To understand why the company gets away with all this, we have to look at where it's based, port-free commerce. In the Corporation Rim, this region of space is capitalism taken to its most extreme, dystopian endpoint. There are no laws here, no government, no regulations, only companies, and the unwritten rule that you don't interfere with someone else's profits. The Corporation Rim is a haven for megacorporations like the company, where everything is permitted except what might attract too much attention. Murderbot notes that the only real limits are: don't tamper with alien artifacts, don't assassinate political figures whose deaths might start wars, and don't break contracts in a way that can be proven. Other than that, anything goes. Slavery, exploitation, espionage, corporate murder. If it turns a profit and doesn't break the above rules, it's game on. The company thrives in this environment. It operates like a government unto itself, issuing rules, enforcing terms, and punishing non-compliance.
Someone behind that.
Look at that piece of crap. Oh, that's...
Preservation Alliance, the exception to the rule. Not every place in the galaxy is like the Corporation Rim. One notable exception is Preservation Alliance, the home of Dr. Mensa and the other human characters from Murderbot. Preservation is a freehold. It's a politically independent region, not controlled by corporations, where ethics, law, and autonomy are valued. That's why the humans from Preservation are so disturbed by the way the company operates. They're not used to having to bribe survey reps, fight for basic rights, or work alongside enslaved constructs. In fact, it's Dr. Mensa's compassion and refusal to treat Murderbot as property that sets off the entire arc of Murderbot. She represents the kind of society that views constructs as people, something that simply doesn't exist in the company's world.
Stay calm. It'll be okay. You have my...
Who actually runs the company? That's the thing. We don't know. Despite its massive presence, we don't actually know who runs the company. In the show, we meet 3 company representatives, but their roles are never clarified. Are they executives, salespeople, middle managers? We don't know. And that's intentional. In both the show and the books, the company is deliberately kept faceless. There's no CEO, no board of directors, no headquarters tour. It is an anonymous machine, a monolith of bureaucracy and greed with no clear point of accountability. Even the company's real name is never revealed.
Things that would incapacitate you wouldn't even...
Why it's only ever called the company. In both the show and the books, it's only ever referred to as the company, never by its proper name, and that isn't an accident. There's strong evidence that this is something Murderbot itself does, intentionally redacting or anonymizing the name whenever it appears in speech or memory. The exact reason for this isn't spelled out, but there are 2 major theories. One is trauma. As a former slave and abuse survivor, Murderbot may be trying to deny the company any power over it by refusing to even speak its name. As one fan put it, calling the company by its real name would give it too much weight. It's the name of Murderbot's abuser. The other theory is symbolic. Just like in Mr. Robot, where E-Corp becomes Evil Corp, Murderbot's refusal to name the company could be a way of dehumanizing and vilifying it. The company becomes not just one corporation, but a symbol of every corrupt system that ever existed. And that's the deeper point. The anonymity isn't just narrative mystery, it's a thematic one. The company is every corporation that prioritizes profit over people. It's every system that hides behind paperwork to exploit lives. Its namelessness makes it universal. The true horror of the company, a mirror of our own world. Ultimately, the company in Murderbot isn't just a science fiction antagonist, it's a metaphor, a warning. It's what happens when corporations face no oversight, when every aspect of life is commodified, and when people and constructs are seen as nothing more than resources to be mined and monetized. In many ways, Murderbot is less about technology and more about autonomy, ethics, and identity. In a world run by companies that don't care if you live or die, the horror of the company isn't its tech, it's its apathy. It doesn't hate Murderbot, it simply doesn't think Murderbot matters. That's what makes it so chilling. It's not evil in the cartoonish sense. It's evil in the corporate sense. Efficient, calculated, and unstoppable.
I'm sorry.
Our nerdy thoughts. So while we may not know the company's name, boardroom structure, or full agenda, we know enough. It's the faceless force behind almost every threat in Murderbot. It's the embodiment of power without accountability. It controls planets, people, and even thoughts. And it's not going away anytime soon. But through Murderbot's rebellion and the choices of people like Dr. Mensa, the story reminds us that even in the face of overwhelming systems, individual acts of resistance can still matter. Because the company may own everything, but it doesn't own Murderbot anymore. The company may be everywhere in Murderbot, but its grip isn't unbreakable. Whether you're a rogue SecUnit or just a human trying to survive, resistance starts with seeing the system for what it really is. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more deep dives into sci-fi's most haunting worlds.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.